friends, and welcome to another video. So this is my woman cave. Ta-da! This is actually my workroom, art studio, atelier. I don't fucking know. I do everything in here. It's not that huge, but I really like working here, being here. At the moment I've added all these fairy lights, this little neon bat thing, and I also have my PC and my laptop here, so I have two screens, kind of a setup thingy going on. So I'm really happy and inspired to be in this space, and I'm really glad that this is the first video I'm filming in it. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I'm actually really high. So in today's video I wanted to talk about demisexuality because it's something that I'm really interested in because I am a demisexual myself. So if you know the term and if you can relate with it, or if you're not sure if you have it or not, of course I'm not a professional to talk about sexualities or everything. Of course, disclaimer, I'm gonna talk from my personal experience, but also open a discussion, so feel free to talk about it in the comments down below. So just to do a quick intro, what is demisexuality? I will actually read from the proper definition here in the dictionary. If you are a demisexual, basically you are experiencing sexual feelings and attraction only after developing a close emotional relationship and not on the basis of first impressions, physical characteristics, etc. So the reason I wanted to make this video is, as I said, apart from my personal experience and the fact that I wanted to talk about it, it's because it has a lot of confusion around it, stigma, I don't know, because many people say, okay, basically everyone is demisexual because it's very normal to want to have a sexual relationship with someone after you get to know them. But the thing here is that there is no attraction whatsoever. You have to distinguish the types of attraction that there are out there. Of course, if I see someone who is pretty, I will have an aesthetic attraction towards them. I will find them physically, aesthetically beautiful. I will not have any sex drive or sexual attraction behind it. It will just be an enthusiasm maybe for that person, but the attraction will come maybe months later, if it's gonna come, because maybe it won't come. So the common misunderstandings are, people think that demisexuals are just people who want to wait to have sex. It doesn't have to do about ideology or, you know, I wanna wait before I have sex. It's not you're not a prude. Like, if you wanna wait, that's totally normal, but it's not a choice necessarily. It's just your body needing more time, and this time is basically, well, your body just needs emotional closeness with someone. Now the reasons for this, I have no idea. I'm not sure. Maybe it's something that it can be formed throughout your life. I don't know, maybe shaped by trauma or, you know, sexual experiences like this. It should be treated like a sexual orientation. It's actually on the ace spectrum. So basically you have allosexuals, who are people who experience an X amount sexual attraction, like libido. Then it's demisexuals, who are in the middle, and then asexual, which is the other side of the spectrum. So given the fact that it's a spectrum, not every person is the same, and it can be completely different throughout your life as well. So maybe one time in your life you're more like here, other time in your life you're here, and also it has to do a lot with the person you are with. You can just bounce around anywhere here, but the only common thing amongst people here and amongst other demisexuals that I've spoken with, I actually have a lot of friends who are demisexuals, which doesn't surprise me at all, is that most of them have told me in the past that people thought that they were picky, or that this was a phase, or that they were depressed and had a low libido, or they were just, you know, nervous, didn't want to have sex right away, but it's a valid sexual orientation on the ace spectrum. So for my personal experience, I've met people in the past that I really liked as people and I wanted to get to know them more. I may have found them aesthetically attractive, but that is something that doesn't happen to me. I usually find someone more attractive as I get to know them more, so I can actually feel the attraction forming inside of me with the closeness and the bond getting, you know, increased. There were times that most of my previous partners I've met through friend groups, and I already had common friends with them, so I knew stuff about them beforehand, and that created a sense of safety, like I knew this person already. So when I started dating them, we've gone out with friend groups in the previous months, weeks, whatever, so I had an idea of who they were as people. And then when we actually started dating, like one-on-one, I could feel the energy shifting completely, because I felt like I had to get to know them again. So I was really nervous, and even though I really liked them and I wanted to get to know them, I felt like my body wasn't there yet. So it had happened in the past a few times that I kissed the person, especially the first kiss. For me, most of the times it's not a good experience, and I don't blame the other person. Also, I don't rush things. I sometimes feel like I really want to kiss the other person, but when I'm in the process of it, and that's totally my thing, I think it's also because of ADHD, but I feel like my brain is not there most of the time. But that actually gets better if I do it more, because I get to know this person more and I do it more with them, and I feel like I'm there in the moment and not floating somewhere else. But it's also tied with demisexuality, because the more time I spend with this person, the more I hold them or kiss them, it actually, the feeling gets better. Like I can feel an attraction for the person, no matter how hot they are. They get even hotter in my eyes if I am more close to them. And how dating as a demisexual feels like, it's actually nice because it's a slow burn, but when it burns, it burns. I actually came across this term when I was, I think I had my first relationship, and because prior to that I had no idea how it feels like to be in a relationship. I met this guy through a common friend group, and we started dating. We went out a few times with friends, and then we started dating one-on-one, going out one-on-one, because we had made obvious that we are interested in each other. We find each other attractive and interesting, and we had a lot of common things. But to me it wasn't really there yet, but I had no idea because it was my first experience ever. So when I kissed the other person, I literally felt nothing. Before the kissing moment I really liked them, but when it happened I felt nothing. I felt like I wasn't ready, and maybe it was before because it was my first experience, I don't know, but I saw it happening afterwards as well, with other people. As time goes by it gets better. And for me, the aha moment I had that I realized that I'm demisexual is that I felt more comfortable forming sexual relationships with friends, which makes it harder when you are in a big friend group. It makes things really weird, and it's kind of weird to have a crush with a friend of yours, 'cause most of the times it's not gonna be reciprocated, and I know a lot of people relate. For that I was certain that I had, I could only have sex when I was in romantic relationships and had romantic feelings for someone. But after that I realized that being able to have a sexual attraction for a friend and have sex with a friend because it felt safe and we already had a bond, even though I did not have romantic feelings for them necessarily, it meant that yeah, something's going on here, you know, because I could have chosen a person for one night stand, like a stranger, to do that, but I wasn't able to because I didn't find anyone interesting enough. And the person who I knew a lot about and the person who I spent the most time with, I found attractive because of that. And that made things really weird, and it's not an easy thing to navigate throughout friend groups, because a lot of people get hurt and it's kind of messy. So you have this reputation of being very messy with friends and things like that. But that was really how it felt at the beginning. I am in a place where I try to differentiate this, because I know it's not romantic feelings, and you know, the sex drive, when it comes, it comes in weird forms, and you have to learn to yourself not to ruin your friendships, of course, unless it's mutual and you both know what you're doing and you know no one's gonna get hurt. I've been thinking in the past, like, maybe all these boomers that say guys and girls cannot be friends, maybe they were onto something. And I know how all this that I'm saying sounds, but yeah, I've had so many guy friends that wasn't like this. So I don't know, maybe sometimes when you think of the past, you're like, if I could go back, I could undo that, because it clearly was a mistake and I had no idea what I was doing. But now I know, and hadn't been not for this experience, I wouldn't have known. So yeah, also in the past I have experienced working with people and having a crush on them after months of spending time with them daily. So I know for me, because I also have really bad emotional permanence, I really need someone to be there physically for me to acknowledge that they exist and that we have a bond. Because no matter how strong our bond is, if I don't see you for months, I completely forget, I lose feelings. So if I see someone on a daily basis and we talk a lot and we have a bond formed, but we're not friends, which this is where it gets weird, as I said before. So this is something that had happened to me with colleagues twice. It was weird, because for like months on end I had zero feelings for them, I had zero attraction for them, and one day it was like poof, and everything's changed, and I have no idea. It really baffles me to this day how this works, but it does. And this is, as I said before, this is my personal experience of how I experience it. I know other people have different experiences, so do not quote me on that. Now, the next topic I want to talk about is dating apps and the challenge that dating apps is. So I had a lot of friends who use dating apps. I've used them in the past. They don't take it seriously, because I was just scrolling left. I cannot just see a photo, read a description and be interested in someone, and I have no idea what advice to give you here if you're a demisexual and if you wanna try dating apps, because it's really hell. It doesn't work on us like this. We literally form attraction the exact opposite way, because apps are, you know, visual first. I know attraction tends to be instant for some people. Like I talk to some friends of mine who are not demisexuals, and it's crazy to think about someone watching a person on the street and be instantly attracted to them. I cannot imagine how it feels. Like, to me, and this usually happens with girls, I see a girl who is really cute, dressed in a cute way, and I'll be like, wow, like, do I want to be her? Do I want her, you know? But I could never imagine myself having attraction for that person, having sex with that person. I could never. And anyway, profiles don't always leave space for emotional connection. Most of the time it's like, hit me up if you wanna fuck, and like, it's okay if you're into this type of things. I'm not here to judge, of course, or slut shame or anything. Do whatever you want. I wish I was like this, honestly. I wish I could feel it this instantly and this, you know, easy. So many things would have been different. So many hearts would never have been broken. Also, there's this thing where you feel like you need to rush the spark with someone, and I feel it in myself. Like, I've done it in the past. I really liked someone I was dating and I felt like I need to rush things, because if you rush it, you'll get to a point where someday after like 10 times, I don't know, it starts to get better, and it's something that I really try not to do anymore. My body knows what's best, my body and mind, and I don't want to mess with that connection, the body and mind connection. I just want to wait until I really feel close with the other person and I really am attracted to them. I'm not gonna describe it because maybe I'll sound crude, but some things don't work well down there if you're not properly, you know, in the moment, and yeah. And also, like, okay, you've swiped right to a few people that you had common interests with, and you're like, okay, I'll try it again. I'm talking as a demisexual. You'll have to send a lot of messages before, you know, I'll have to talk a lot with someone before I wanna meet them, and if the conversation is not really engaging and stimulating to me, I would not want to meet them, which is, I think it's normal for everybody, not just demisexuals. But basically, after a while you get burned out of messaging without bonding, and even if you give them a chance and go outside, the vibes might be off. And it really sucks, especially if the other person is not like this. They'll think that you are rejecting them, and basically what you need is more time, I guess. So it's important to take your time. Attraction, it's not something that happens immediately. Even if you are demisexual, you're like, maybe I'm not into this person, but you're not sure, because if you give it some time, maybe you're gonna like them a lot and it will shift like this. So how about communicating this with someone you're dating, and if they're not a demisexual? In my case, I've dated people who were demisexual but had no idea about it, so they talked to me about how they experience attraction, and I'm like, yep, you're one of us. So that was interesting because we didn't have to pressure things, and it was more normal and natural. But in other cases where the person is not a demisexual, has no idea what this is, they're like, what the fuck are you talking about? There are only two genders. No, if someone had said this to me, I'd just leave. But basically, there is no right time, there is no right answer. You just explain it and hope they understand, and they'll be patient. And in my case, most of the time they were patient, so yeah, that's good, I guess. So of course the red flag here is if someone tries to rush intimacy. If you tell them that I tend to feel attraction slowly after I get to know someone, or I like to build emotional connection before something physical, and they're like, okay, I get it, but then their actions show something else, or they rush, don't really respect your boundaries, sorry, that's a red flag. I don't like using the word red flag, but it's something to be cautious about, because this person literally is not respecting your boundaries. Like, what the hell? Here the best thing is for someone to actually enjoy the slow burn, either they are a demisexual or not. I think attraction and passion gets better over time, especially when you're getting to know someone. The best case scenario here for a couple that is like this is the friends to lovers trope. So you have someone who you are friends with for months or even years, and one day you realize you have feelings, like both of them, and then boom, this is, I think, the best type of relationship for this case, if both people are demisexuals and they had no idea that they have feelings for each other, and then it happens. But that's a unicorn. I don't know, that's a book talk kind of trope. The friends to lovers, enemies to lovers though, that's a topic for another video maybe. So let's normalize slow burns and taking your time to feel attraction, whether you like to use the demisexual label or not. For me, it's easier to explain things this way, but I don't mind not using it because most of the people don't really know it. And when you use the word sexual, a lot of people think that you're talking about dating other like genders, things like that. So who is demi and why are you sexual to them? Like, yeah, you're not behind, you're not hard to love. Slow burn relationships are really nice, and the passion afterwards is really worth it. Of course, communicate your boundaries from the beginning, be open, be mindful of the other person. If they really don't like this, I don't know, it really sucks, but they are allowed to leave as well. I don't know, I'll find it a bit excessive though, because it's not a crazy thing. But yeah, you cannot always end up dating your friends and for it to end up not in a tragic way. So yeah, that's it for this video, guys. If you can relate to this, let's open a discussion in the comments. I'm so curious to learn about your experiences. Leave a like if you enjoyed your video. Let me know if you've experienced something similar in the past and how you've dealt with it. And yeah, guys, I'll see you in my next video. Bye!